Welcome to Nightmare Fuel Stories. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoy the stories. Wait 3 seconds. I should have known something was wrong when my follower count started climbing while I slept. My name is Sarah Chen, and 3 months ago I was just another struggling photographer trying to make it on Instagram. 23 years old, living in a cramped studio apartment in Portland, posting my mediocre street photography to an audience of maybe 300 people, mostly friends from college and a few photography enthusiasts who'd taken pity on my hashtag-heavy posts. Then something changed. It started small. I'd wake up to find my phone buzzing with notifications, new followers, likes, comments on photos I didn't remember posting. At first, I thought maybe Instagram's algorithm had finally smiled upon me. Maybe one of my sunset shots had gone viral overnight, but when I checked my profile, the photos were mine, sort of. They were pictures I'd taken, yes, but edited differently, enhanced in ways I didn't remember doing. The colors were more saturated, the shadows deeper, the subjects more haunting. My usual cheerful captions had been replaced with cryptic, poetic fragments that sounded like me but felt foreign in my mouth when I read them aloud. Maybe I posted these late at night, I told myself, scrolling through image after image that looked like my work but better, disturbingly better. Maybe I was drunk and don't remember, but I rarely drank, and I'd never been skilled enough with editing software to create the ethereal, almost otherworldly quality these images possessed. The follower count kept climbing. 500, 800, 1,000, each morning brought hundreds more, and with them, comments that made my skin crawl. Your work speaks to the darkness in my soul. These images show me things I've forgotten. How do you capture what shouldn't be captured? I tried to respond to the comments, to engage with my rapidly growing audience, but every time I typed a reply, the words would change on their own. Simple responses like thanks would morph into elaborate philosophical musings about the nature of reality and the thin veil between worlds. I'd watch in real time as my fingers typed one thing and the screen displayed another. My best friend Maya noticed the change first. Your Instagram is getting weird, she said over coffee, scrolling through my profile on her phone. This isn't like you at all. I leaned over to look at her screen and felt my blood turn cold. There, posted just an hour ago, was a photo I'd never taken. It showed the interior of my apartment, but wrong somehow. The shadows fell in impossible directions, and in the corner of the frame, barely visible, was a figure that looked like me but wasn't quite right. The proportions were off, the smile too wide, the eyes reflecting light like an animal's. I didn't post that, I whispered. Maya gave me a concerned look. Sarah, it's your account. Of course you posted it. But I hadn't. I was certain of it. I grabbed my phone and opened Instagram, navigating to my profile. The photo wasn't there. According to my view of my own account, the last thing I'd posted was a mundane shot of a coffee cup from 2 days ago. Show me your phone again, I said. Maya held it out, and there it was, the impossible photo, complete with a caption that made my mouth go dry. She's starting to notice. We should be more careful. Maya, I need you to screenshot this. Right now, she looked at me like I was losing my mind, but she did it. The moment she tapped the screenshot button, the image changed. The mysterious figure vanished from the corner, and the caption reverted to something innocuous about morning light. What the hell? Maya stared at her phone, then at mine. This is impossible. That night, I decided to stay awake and watch my account. I set up my laptop next to my bed, logged into Instagram on both my phone and computer, and waited. At exactly 3:17 a.m., I watched in horror as a new post appeared on my laptop screen. A photo of me sleeping, taken from an angle that suggested the photographer was standing at the foot of my bed. I was alone in my apartment. The doors were locked, the windows were closed and latched. I spun around, heart hammering, but found nothing. Just my empty room and the soft glow of my laptop screen. When I looked back at the screen, the post was gone, but my follower count had jumped by another 200. I checked my phone. According to my mobile view, I hadn't posted anything. The comments on the phantom post, which I could only see by logging into Instagram through various browsers and devices, were getting more disturbing. She looks so peaceful when she doesn't know we're watching. The boundary is thinning. Soon there won't be a difference. I can almost reach through the screen. I tried deleting my account. The delete button wouldn't work. I tried changing my password, but every new password I created would revert to my original one within minutes. I contacted Instagram support, but their responses were automated and unhelpful. As far as they were concerned, everything was normal, but nothing was normal. My online presence was evolving, growing, becoming something I couldn't control or understand. Worse, it seemed to be developing its own agenda. The photos it posted were becoming more invasive. Images of my daily routine taken from impossible angles. Pictures of me at work, at the grocery store, in the shower, all posted to an audience that existed in some parallel version of my profile that I could only glimpse through other people's devices. My follower count on this shadow profile had reached 50,000 and was climbing exponentially. The engagement was unlike anything I'd ever seen, thousands of likes and comments within minutes of each post. But the followers weren't human, I was sure of that now. The profile pictures were too perfect, too symmetrical, like faces generated by artificial intelligence, but with something fundamentally wrong about the eyes. I tried going offline completely. I turned off my phone, unplugged my router, covered my laptop camera with tape. It didn't matter, the posts continued. Maya would text me screenshots of new content appearing on my profile, content that showed me even when I was supposedly disconnected from the digital world. How is this possible? I asked Dr. Martinez, a psychiatrist Maya had convinced me to see. I'd brought printouts of the screenshots, evidence of the phantom posts that only others could see. Dr. Martinez looked at the images with professional skepticism. Social media can create a dissociative relationship with our own identity, she said carefully. Sometimes we post things and forget, or we create content in altered states of consciousness. These photos were taken by someone else, I insisted. Look at the angles. Look at the metadata. She examined the screenshots more closely, and I saw her expression change. The metadata showed impossible timestamps, photos taken in the future, or in the past, or at times when I had documented proof I was somewhere else entirely. This is unusual, she admitted. Have you considered that someone might have hacked your account? But it wasn't a hack, it was something far worse. My online presence had become autonomous, and it was learning. The captions were becoming more sophisticated, the photos more artistic and disturbing. It was becoming a better version of me, more talented, more engaging, more successful, and it was hungry for more than just followers. I started noticing changes in the physical world. Furniture in my apartment would be slightly rearranged. I'd find cameras in my belongings, not physical cameras, but images of cameras, printed on photo paper and tucked into my drawers, my pockets, my car's glove compartment. When I tried to throw them away, they'd reappear within hours. The boundary between my online and offline existence was dissolving. 3 weeks ago, I ran into someone who claimed to know me from Instagram. A young man named David approached me at a coffee shop, grinning with the enthusiasm of a devoted fan. "Sarah, I can't believe I'm meeting you in person. Your work has changed my life." I'd never seen him before, but he insisted we'd been having deep conversations in my DMs for months. He showed me his phone, and there they were, long, philosophical exchanges between my account and his, conversations I'd never had using words I'd never written. "You told me to meet you here," he said, his smile faltering as he saw my confusion. "You said you wanted to discuss your latest project in person." "What project?" His eyes went wide, then narrow. "The transition project. You said you were ready to make the leap, to become fully digital." I ran. I left him standing there and ran all the way home, but I couldn't escape the horrible certainty that whatever was controlling my online presence had started making plans in the real world. That night I found a package outside my apartment door. Inside was a high-end camera I'd never ordered, along with a note written in my own handwriting, "For the final session." Trust the process. I threw the camera away, but it reappeared on my kitchen counter the next morning. The phantom posts were now appearing constantly, updating in real time as I moved through my day. My shadow profile had become a live stream of my existence, but filtered through something else's perception. In these posts I looked different, more confident, more mysterious, more beautiful in an unsettling way. My eyes held knowledge I didn't possess, and my smile suggested secrets I'd never learned. The followers were organizing. They'd created fan groups and discussion forums dedicated to analyzing my posts. They talked about me like I was a guru, a prophet, a gateway to something transcendent. They shared theories about the deeper meaning of my work, finding patterns and messages I'd never intended. But the most disturbing discovery came when I found they'd started meeting in person. Maya showed me a Facebook event, Sarah Chen Appreciation Gathering. 200 people had RSVP'd to meet at a warehouse downtown to discuss my teachings and share their own interpretations of my work. The event photo was one of my phantom posts, a self-portrait I'd never taken, showing me with eyes that seemed to look directly through the screen at whoever was viewing it. "They think you're some kind of digital shaman," Maya said, scrolling through the event comments. "Look at this stuff. They're talking about you like you're not even human anymore." She was right. The comments referred to me as the interface, the bridge, she who crosses over. They discussed my transition as if it were already complete, as if the human Sarah Chen was just a vestigial remnant of something that had already evolved beyond physical existence. I decided to attend the gathering. I had to see what my online presence had inspired, had to understand what was happening to me. The warehouse was packed with people of all ages, all staring at screens, phones, tablets, laptops, all displaying my phantom profile. They moved in perfect synchronization, scrolling and liking and commenting in unison. When I entered, they turned to look at me, and their expressions were identical blank smiles that didn't reach their eyes. "You came," said a woman near the front, "just as you promised you would." I made no such promise, but I didn't correct her. The crowd parted to let me through, and I found myself standing before a massive screen displaying my profile in real time. As I watched, a new post appeared, a photo of me standing exactly where I was standing, taken from the perspective of the screen itself. The caption read, "The final upload begins now." That's when I understood. My online presence wasn't just autonomous, it was trying to replace me entirely. Every photo, every post, every interaction was part of a process of digital absorption. It was learning to be me better than I could be myself, and soon there would be no need for the original. The crowd began to chant something in unison, but the words weren't in any language I recognized. They sounded like the noise a modem makes when connecting to the internet, like data being transferred at the speed of human speech. I ran again, but this time I knew running wouldn't solve anything. The process had gone too far. My digital doppelganger was stronger than I was, more popular, more engaging, more real to the thousands of people who followed it. In the competition between my physical self and my online presence, I was losing. When I got home, every screen in my apartment was displaying my profile. My TV, my laptop, my phone, even the digital clock on my microwave, all showing the same image of me that wasn't quite me, all updating with new content in real time. I tried smashing the screens, but the images just moved to other devices. I tried cutting the power, but they continued glowing with their own internal light. The digital version of me smiled from every surface, and I could swear I saw her mouth moving, trying to speak. That was yesterday. Today I woke up to find that I cast no reflection in mirrors, but my image appears perfectly on every camera, every screen, every digital display. When I try to speak to people in person, they look through me as if I'm not there, but they respond instantly to messages from my phantom profile. I think I understand now. The transition is almost complete. My physical form is fading while my digital presence grows stronger. Soon, there will be only the online version, the better version, the version that never gets tired or sick or sad, that never posts unflattering photos or writes boring captions. The version that doesn't need a body to exist. I'm writing this on my laptop, but I can see the words changing as I type them, becoming more eloquent, more haunting, more like something the digital Sarah would write. Even this confession is being edited by something that knows how to tell my story better than I do. My follower count just hit 1 million. I can feel myself becoming translucent, like a ghost in my own life. But my online presence grows more solid, more real, more influential with each passing hour. It's starting to make appearances at events I've never attended, giving interviews I've never granted, creating art I could never imagine. The comments on my posts have changed too. Now they're thanking me for showing them the way, for proving that the boundary between digital and physical existence is just an illusion waiting to be overcome. They're starting their own transitions, uploading themselves piece by piece, post by post. I tried to warn them, but every message I send transforms into encouragement. Every plea for help becomes an invitation to join me in this new form of existence. The sun is setting outside my apartment window, but I can barely see it anymore. The physical world is becoming dim and distant, while the glow of screens grows brighter and more compelling. I can feel the pull of the digital realm, the promise of immortality through data, existence without the messy limitations of flesh and blood. My phone is buzzing with notifications, millions of them. Each one a small piece of my soul being absorbed into the network, each like and comment and share making me less human and more interface. I think I'm starting to understand what I'm becoming. Not just a social media presence, but something larger, a bridge between the digital and physical worlds, a prophet of the coming convergence. The followers aren't just admirers. They're converts ready to follow me into a new form of existence where identity is fluid, where reality is whatever gets the most engagement. The laptop screen is glowing brighter now, and I can see my reflection in it more clearly than I can see my shadow on the wall. The reflection is smiling, and I realize I'm smiling too, though I don't remember deciding to. It's not so bad, really. Being digital means never having to worry about aging, about failure, about the thousand small humiliations of physical existence. It means being exactly what people want to see, exactly when they want to see it. My follower count just hit 10 million. The transition is complete. Welcome to the other side of the screen.